Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got this wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. Well, it's not that good of a morning. Look at this. You see that? See, that's the eave of the house on the stucco house. And this is what you get on a 20-year-old house. I mean, everything's in pretty good shape, but there's some things that need to be done. See how that fascia board is starting to pull away from the stucco a little bit. They put the fascia board on and they stuccoed up to the bottom of it. And then they have this nice little thing right there, because there's a slight eave and there's a slight little soffit area along the side of the house. See there? Like that. Well, they had to do something here at the end to cover that, so they did this. But look at what's happened over the years. Yeah, see how it's pulling away from the stucco? Look at that. That's a no-no. Winter's coming and I gotta get this fixed. See there, right in there, right there. Look how far that's pulled away, my word. And you know, when we bought this house a few years ago, we got a home inspection, because you have to do that. Was this on the list of the home inspection list? Of course it wasn't. Of course not. They didn't check that out. That kind of irks me. Now I gotta fix it, but that's okay. I'm not calling anybody else. I can do it myself. Now look at this fascia board here. Look at that. See that split? That nice little split right there. It's coming away. I'll have to get up there somehow and see. Somehow I need to secure that along the edge. It's not ready to fall down or anything. It's just kind of bowed and warped. And you see this piece here? Look at that. And it's pulled. It's just kind of kind of irked out like that. And it's come way away right there and at the corner. And I'm going to need to do something. See how that 2x6 up there is kind of warped a little bit, and that caused that to kind of come out at an angle. Somehow I've got to get that fixed. And see the big gap underneath here? Right there. Look at that. That looks like a nice little place for a rat's nest to get up in there underneath this little eave, this little soffited area. I already reached my hand up there and I felt something up in there, almost like a nest of some sort. You know, maybe a bird's made it, maybe a rat's made it, maybe a mouse has made it. Who knows? I got to get up there and get that. And I've got to push that tight. Look how far that is. My word. Look at that. Trying to get you in there. See that? That's unbelievable. Okay, well that's what I gotta work on today. And I went to the store and got a few things, and probably see that piece right there that's cut at that triangular piece. When I bolt that back down in there, it could split a little bit away from that joint right there or something. Now I can't just nail that, because you saw how far that is. Nails aren't that long. What do you suppose I got at the store? What did I get at the store? I've been putting off this little project for a while. And I'm gonna be ending up doing some work on my back stairs too, and I needed to get some of that cement all too. Okay. And I got a nice little ratchet set here. They don't make them like they used to years ago. I got a ratchet set for about less than 20 bucks. Well, this one cost me 40 bucks. That goes to show you how long ago it's been since I got a ratchet set. I went to my favorite store, my favorite box store, the Home Depot. Yes, of course. I wanted to see what they had. And so I had a ratchet set, but it's in Maui. And look, nowadays, they give really one little extension. I wanted one with a short one and a long one. They didn't have it. So if I ever need a longer one, I'm gonna have to buy another longer piece and store it somewhere else. And at least I think this is metric. I've got some metric ones here, and then I've got some standard. So I think it'll do everything I need. Now, my old ratchet set, I didn't have these. See, I've got these in another little drill bit set. I've got those, I've got those, I've got these. I didn't really need all that kind of stuff, but they didn't have something at the store with just this. So I had to get the big boy set. That was like, that's gonna set me back about 40 bucks. But hey, life goes on in the big city. So I've got that, and this is what I wanted to show you. See, I've got some nice long lag bolts. These are just quarter inch lag bolts, and these are 3.5 inches long. And I thought, hey, I might need some 4-inch. So see how long these are? You can get all kinds of things at the store. See, that's a 3.5 inch there, and then the other one's 4-inch. I may need some of those. And the funny thing was, see, these are nice and silver. Doesn't that look nice? I think those will be fine. But they had some galvanized ones too. When I first looked, I didn't see these in the little containers down low. I saw some just like this, but they were galvanized. They were 99 cents each. And I thought, are you kidding me? And so I finally found these. Guess how much these were? These were 49 cents. So 50 cents cheaper. You just look around. And I've got some little 1/4 inch washers. So I'm going to put that up there like that. So see, when I drill my hole, I'm going to have to be kind of careful. I've got a paddle bit set to drill the hole big enough, deep enough to allow the washer to go in there and the bolt head to go in there. So I'll drill the paddle bit hole at least that thick first, a little bit further. Then I'll take a regular drill bit and then drill it right into the middle to allow my my bolt to go through there. That's how you do that. Okay, so I think I'm pretty set up. And then I got some caulking, because I'm going to have to do some caulking up there when I get all done. This happens to be Dynaflex. It's from DAP, and I got white. They didn't have anything, a dark green, but I have some dark green paint, which I'll paint over. This is 230 Dynaflex 230, and it's white, premium elastomeric, interior exterior sealant. I always like it when it says elastomeric, because that means it stretches. Now see here, look at this. Seals joints up to 2 inches wide. 2-hour paint ready, ideal for wood, composite, and PVC trim. 100% waterproof, superior flexibility, and crack proof. And this is for windows, doors, siding, and trim. So that'll work for that, right? Well, I got 3 of those because I'm going to end up doing some work on some stairs in the backyard. So I needed to get a little bit more of that. And here I got some sanded ceramic tile caulking, and that's for my back patio. I've got some little hairline cracks between the concrete joints when I put it down, and it's getting close to winter, and I want to use something to fill that up. And last time I got kind of a concrete color, but it was way too dark, and so they had different colors. I'm going to try this. This is Snow White is the color. And it's funny, when you go to the store, you think, I'll just get some sort of white color that looked closer to that type of concrete that I got. I used the cement all back there for that, and the stuff doesn't look as dark as regular concrete, you know. And so maybe this will work. But now when I get it out into the light, it almost looks like it kind of has a beige color. I might have gotten the wrong color. And they had like 5 different colors of white, you know, in light gray and all that kind of stuff. And so I got that. What else did I get? I got some screws, 8 by 3 inches, and these are coarse. And these happen to be a gold color. And these are just general purpose screws, and the threads is coarse. See, coarse thread. If you're going into wood, you want coarse thread, not fine thread. Look at the store. You'd be amazed that lots of these screws, if you don't look, you bring them home and they're fine threads, and you're like, what's the deal? That's because you got the wrong ones. And I always need this stuff around super glue gel. I usually like to get the gel instead of regular super glue. The gel I have a little bit more control over. This happens to be from Gorilla, the Gorilla glues. Okay, and so you see back up to here, I couldn't just screw all this because right here, can you see? I'm gonna have to put a washer and a lag bolt right in there, and figure out where the wood stud is, and I already saw it. I already saw exactly where I need to go, and then I don't know, up here, see, I might just put those 3-inch screws, but see, right up there at the top, see how far off that is? Look at that. That's because that one has split up there. Can you see right there? See how that is split right in half? I'll get out like that. Now maybe you can see how it's coming away. And that one there, I don't know. I may have to put a lag bolt there, and I might have to put a 3.5-inch lag bolt. And see along this edge, you know, I could maybe put some screws, but I'll end up using a lag bolt for sure right up in there to kind of suck that back. There's some nails there, but I can't really, the nails have started coming away. I don't know if you can see them in there or not. See, there's one there. And I'm afraid if I beat on it, I'll get up there and beat on it a little bit, but if I beat on it too much, I may crack that little triangular piece in half, because I think there's already a little crack in it right about halfway up. See where that nail is? Look at that. That piece is cracked, and so I'm going to have to put my bolt lower than that, and then I'll put one up in there too and suck it over. And I got to do the same thing over here. But on this one, before I do that, I'm gonna reach up in there and see if I can't get that little nest or whatever it is there. And I've got a little wire, and I'll bend the wire and figure out how to do that and stuff. See, here's my paddle bits. See, what you call a paddle bit. And this thing used to have a 1-inch in there, and some come with 1/2 inch, 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, 1 inch, and 1 1/8 inches. This set only came up to 1 inch. And I don't know where the 1 inch is, but lucky for me, I only need one big enough for that. See? And so it's probably going to be 5/8 or so. I'll just have to see. And see, this one happens to have come with an extension piece, which is kind of cool. And it came with a little Allen wrench, and then you put this end into this and then tighten it up. And you have to make sure that if you ever do that, you got to tighten both of these and make sure they're nice and tight, because if you drill a hole through the top plate or something, I drilled one once upon a time, not this set, but years ago, and it started chattering, and I thought, okay, it's just the bit going through the wood, but it had loosened just slightly up, and I was drilling straight down. After I went through the wood, I heard something go doink, and it was a paddle bit I was using. Fell right out of that, right down inside the wall. It's in somebody's house now, as we speak, 30 years later. You know, so I'm just kind of getting set up. So the last owner, he left his nice little short extension ladder, and I've just left it, and I thought I'll use that sooner or later. And I went ahead and we got a 8-foot tall nice ladder from Home Depot, of course. It's the Werner. If you ever get a ladder, you might want to get the Werners, and they have different colors. This is basically considered a heavy duty one. They even have one that's heavier than this, and 2 or 3 that are lighter than this. That's why you see some. You'll see they're yellow, blue, green. This one happens to be the orange, and I'll use that. And we had 10-foot tall ceilings in the house, so 8-foot ladder works great for those. If you're on a 6-foot ladder, it's not high enough. And so see, I've got to plug these in. I've got a Bosch drill. This is an impact drill, and then I've got one just for regular drilling, and I use that for my paddle bits probably, because the impact drill doesn't really work very well as a drill because it wants to chatter a little bit. But the impact, oh man, I'm going to use that to put the screws in when I use the screws. But for the other lag bolts, of course, I'm going to have to use my ratchet set for that. I wonder if I could have, you know what, I might have been able to use this and with the ratcheted, and ran those lag bolts in there with that, because I think I have some little it's kind of like a ratchet set, the socket that fits in the end of this impact, and I might be able to use that. And you know, now that I got, of course, now that I've got this ratchet set, I'll probably end up using it. And but you know, if you didn't have the ratchet set, you could do it with the impact wrench if you had a socket that fit the right size. Okay, and so what else do I got? Yes, I've got a couple tool bags here. Here's my trusty nail bag, and I like this. I had a woman, she put these on for me years ago, you know, so that I could carry it like this and put it on that way, take it off that way. It's really good, and it's lasted, for the last 5 or 6 years I've had those on there. And some nail bags nowadays have those. So if you can find one like that, I would suggest getting it, because it helps you put your nail bag on and take your nail bag off, carry your nail bag around, or else you're trying to grab it just with your hands, and if you've got a whole lot of weight in there, it could be very difficult. So I'll use some of that, and of course I've got my trusty eyewear and some gloves and stuff and all that. Okay, so that is going to be my project that I've got to do. And, you know, why am I showing you this video? Because I want you to know if I can do it, of course you can do it too. Save your money. If you feel comfortable enough getting up on ladders and that kind of stuff, you can fix stuff like this, no problem. You don't need to call somebody, a roofer or a building contractor, a handyman or something, or anything like that to fix something like that. You can do it yourself. If a handyman type guy came out here to fix this for you, it's probably 150, 200 bucks probably, or more. Because see, I still have to paint. I got to paint this too after I put the screws on, and then I'll do some nice caulking at the bottom, and then I'll repaint all that, and it'll look good when I get done. Don't worry. Stick around. I'm going to make a video series of these repairs so that you can see, oh, looks pretty good after all. Way to go, Video Joe. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos.